Hi, it's Dr. Piro. In this video, I want to share with you one of the most critical skills any student would need. And that skill is that of taking exams. What is the act of exams? How do the most excellent students, how do they really take their exams? What makes them stand out from the crowd? There's no doubt that having the right technique and skill when taking an exam is a very important asset to any student. What ways have you been taking exams? Have they been working? If not, then listen, because for the next few minutes I'm going to put you through the way some of the best students take exams. And how do I know this? I conducted a study and I asked some of the best students across the universities in Nigeria how they take exams, and then they shared some tips with me, and I'm going to be sharing them with you in the next videos. So sit up and listen. Number one, this is how to prepare for an exam. You cannot go for an exam if you have not spoken to people who have taken that exams before. We call them scholars. If you have not spoken to scholars before taking the exam, then you would not know how the exam is done. It is important to speak to 2, 3, or even 5 people that have taken this exam before you, such that they prepare you for the exam. They give you the byways and the highways of the exam. They tell you what to expect, what not to expect, what to do, and most importantly, what to avoid in any exams. So the first key, speak to scholars. Number 2, you cannot go into an exam hall without seeing. Nobody goes into a journey without seeing a map of where they are going to. It is critical to study past questions before any exams. And when I mean you study past questions, I don't mean you just casually flip through the answers and then just look at the question and the answers. No, you don't flip and flop that way. You genuinely study questions. It is recommended that you go through 5 to 10 years of past questions of the exams that you're about to take. When you do this, you think like the examiner. You are ready to take the exam from the examiner's perspective. That way, you are ready for the exam. Not only are you ready for the exam, you also know things like the number of questions that are set, the time allotted for each question, so that you can prepare your mind for this exam that you're about to take. The next critical thing you need when you are preparing for an exam, and this is so important, goals. You need to know what you expect as your result when you're going to take an exam. What marks do you really want from the exam? If you want a 70 or an 80 or a 90, you need to have an idea of what you want. This will give you a draft of the kind of commitment you need to put into these exams in the preparation of the exams. So it is important that you have your goals written down for each of the courses that you're going to be taking in your exams. And this cuts across every exam, from your SSC to your A-level to your semester exams. It's important that you have a goal for what you are going for. The next important key when you are taking an exams is this. You need to prepare the materials. What are the materials? By materials, I mean things like stationaries, your pen, your pencil, your eraser, and all the other materials you need to take for that exam. If there are any documents such as ID cards, forms, you should prepare them before the exam. Get them all ready. If you have your clothing, what you're going to be using for the exam, your shoes, prepare these and keep them down days before the exam. This is what makes students to be calm on the exam morning. So you don't have what they call brain block before your exams. When you get prepared like this for your exams, you are already calm, you're ready for the exams, and when it comes, it will not take you by surprise. The next key in preparing for an exam is time. It is important for you to have a timepiece for any exam that you are going for. All the preparations for that exam is going to be measured in just a few hours. True, exams are not the true test of knowledge, but they are the only test that we have. So for now, as a student, you have to learn how to tackle these exams. As I like to say, if you cannot join them, beat them. But before you beat them, pass the exams, and then you can change the system subsequently. But you need a timepiece. A timepiece will guide you. It will direct you on the number of minutes or hours that are required for a particular set of questions, such that you don't end up attempting part of the exams and not touching some part of the exam. So it is very critical for you to have a timepiece. Other materials such as calculators, writing materials should be prepared well ahead of the exams. This way, you are calm, you are ready for the exams, and when the exam comes, you will take them and do them excellently. In the next part of this video, I'm going to be teaching you how you conduct your exam yourself in the exam hall, how you approach questions, and how you get excellence irrespective of the kind of questions that the examiner will throw at you. Watch out for that.